In today's video, we are going to talk about 6 secrets you need to know to successfully raise money for your business. But before you start, don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon to be notified for future videos. Fundraising is a pivotal moment in the life of a startup. It ensures development on a larger scale. However, you have to be careful not to make a mistake. Successful fundraising is a real challenge. To put all the chances on his side, some points are to know imperatively. In particular, support for raising funds for entrepreneurs brings great advantages. To understand how it works, you first need to know what a fundraiser is. It is a professional approach that consists in finding external investors to provide the necessary financing for the creation of a business, the launch, or the development of a company. In return, investors enter the capital of the company and participate in its general meetings. Clearly, the main objective of fundraising is the capital increase of the company. To succeed in fundraising, it is essential to follow these tips. Secret number 1. Your awesome idea for a future startup won't be funded, but your awesome story will be. Indeed, simply exposing your startup ideas is tasteless, whereas on the contrary, telling a story gives emotions and gives more intensity to its subject. Like a good Hollywood movie, tell a simple story with a simple picture. A bad guy who has a problem, a good guy who has the solution to the problem, and a happy end that shows the solution generates profits, because that's what any investor expects. Remember to give examples and illustrate with numbers. Be careful, however, to tell the story in less than 2 minutes with a summary of emotions, facts, and examples. Thus, you will arouse the interest of your future investors. Secret number 2. No investor or very few will read your business plan. Well, yes, maybe a small handful out of the dozen sent. It should be borne in mind that each investor receives hundreds of business plans. He can't read them all. Once you have aroused the investor's interest with secret number 1, you need to give him more than just a business plan to keep his attention. Provide him with a kit. This kit must a 120-second pitch. This elevator pitch is an opportunity to show the investor that you have noticed his interest in the subject at hand. Unfold your story by creating interest and emotion. Inform your interlocutor that you are looking for financing to develop sales. The objective of this pitch is to get a new appointment to go into more detail. An executive summary teaser, also called a summary, of 1 to 4 pages. It can be considered as the written version of the pitch. Leave this written version to investors. Try to be as concise as possible. A presentation of about 10 slides. Through this presentation, illustrate your story in a simple way. We want to fund your awesome story, not your wonderful graphics. Limit the number of slides so you don't lose your investors. A financial forecast over 3 to 5 years with a cash flow plan included. Figures and claims from sourced articles and documents. After arousing interest, you keep the investor's attention by showing all the effort made to prepare for this meeting and answer all his questions. Secret number 3. Money has a personality. Money may not smell, but it certainly has a personality. In any case, those who hold this money do not think that it only takes a single meeting with an investor for him to sign you a check at the end of the first meeting. It can happen in the United States, but not really in Africa, where fundraising takes time. To be able to finance your project, you will need to select precisely your types of investors and know them well. You have to know how to differentiate each type of investor and ask yourself the right questions. Indeed, the entrepreneur-investor relationship is a long-term relationship. It's like in love. It's better to know the person you're going to marry well. Startup founders often believe that they have no network, no knowledge. It's not true. Meet people, network. There are certainly individual investors around you. Come on, now that you have selected your potential investors, it's time to meet them. Secret number 4. You have to seduce investors. As with the love story, you have to find the contacts and present yourself in your best light. The ideal is to be presented by a common acquaintance because it is necessary to remember 3 important rules about investors. No one will listen to you until you establish credibility. No one will call you back. No one will be interested until there is an in-person meeting. Be connected by a common knowledge. Establish credibility. The fundraiser often plays this role. Once the contact is established, then propose an appointment. Secret number 5. Fundraising can ruin your dreams. So far, you have managed to convince your investors. You're already thinking about the check they're going to give you and the champagne to celebrate. But this is where you face the greatest danger: the transition from the seduction phase to the negotiation phase with your investors. Indeed, the investor already has the experience of dozens or even hundreds of negotiations to his credit, while you have little or no experience. Focus on the things investors need, not what they want, by asking questions such as, what is the objective pursued with the implementation of this clause in the contract? Stay courteous in the negotiation and seek compromise. Remember that this first economic evaluation of your startup is very important because it will serve as a reference for future valuations. Secret number 6. The bank transfer completes the transaction. The arrival of the funds in your bank account closes the fundraising project. But to get there, the entrepreneur or the fundraiser takes on the role of air traffic controller. You have to control and coordinate everything, manage the unexpected and last-minute changes. So, draw up an action plan. Once all the elements of this action plan have been completed, ask your investors if the transfer has been made. If the funds do not arrive in your bank account, be proactive. Solve the situation. Once the funds are in your account, the honeymoon can finally begin. Don't forget to call your investors as well as stakeholders to thank them. The success of a fundraiser has no more secrets for you. Know how to be concise, seductive, negotiator, and grateful during this process. Wonderful stories await you, but remain vigilant. You have to take care of all your relationships. Dear friend, this concludes the video on the 6 secrets to know to successfully raise funds for your business. If you also have an idea or you want to start your business, click on the link below this video to join our accelerated training in digital marketing. Give it to us from Raised Push and see you in the next video. Until then, keep smiling.